Everybody good? So Serj is going to be out in a minute, but come on, make it a little loud. Right now, you can get Harakiri before anybody else at the merch store inside. Who picked it up already? What do you think? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a Q&A with Serj, and we're going to open it up to questions for all of you to ask, and just wait for a microphone to come to you. We'll get the microphone over to you, and you'll be able to ask him whatever you'd like. And remember, Harakiri comes out tomorrow. Serj is going to be on Kimmel Wednesday, and it's going to be a hell of a week. So everybody's got a wristband, right? Awesome. So we've got a few winners right now. So there should be a number on your wristband. Take a look. The first winner will win 2 tickets to go see Serj on Jimmy Kimmel this Wednesday when he performs. So you guys want to hear who the winner is? Yeah. All right. It is 0788880. You won? Come on up. Come on up to the front. You won 2 tickets. Now, the second winner will win 2 tickets to see Serj at his upcoming LA show, which hasn't been announced yet, but will be amazing. Who wants to win that? Well, let's hope you got the right wristband. 0788924. Who's got it? Who got it? Come on up. Oh. Congratulations. There's still some more prizes, don't worry. No more tickets, but something almost as cool as tickets. Can you guess what it is? You can win one of these posters on either side. Right. Who wants to win one of the posters? Who has Harakiri already? Let me see, what do we got? So the first winner is 0788835. Got it? Come on up. And there's one more poster to be won. Who wants that poster? All right, let's see. This one starts off with 0788996. Come on up. You can get Harakiri inside right now in any Serj Tankian merch, if you haven't. But he's going to be out in a minute. Who's got questions for him? That wasn't that loud. Everybody should have questions for him. Who has questions for him? Go. That's forthcoming information. You can't order them yet. Now, when Serj does come out, we do open it up for questions. Just wait for a microphone to come to you, and once it comes to you, answer your question. But we want to be able to hear your question. When does Harakiri come out? What's the date for tomorrow? 2000 what? Can everybody start chanting Serj's name? It might come out a little quicker. Louder. So they can hear you over in Glendale. Louder. So they can hear you over in Hollywood. Louder. Keep it going. That felt One more time. On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's hear it one more time. Louder this time. She's got the right idea. She's got the right idea for sure. Now in unison. That lady can lead. That was good. That was really good. What was that? What's up, peeps? Wow, you are loud. Awesome. You guys doing well? Thank you. Thanks for coming out today. So did you check out the record? Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Great. We wanted to talk a little bit about Harakiri today. Let's do it. Just to begin, because I think all of your records have a great through line from start to finish, whether it be the system records or the solo records. I was curious, how did you approach Harakiri as a whole? What's your take on it from beginning to end?
I called it a unplanned pregnancy. Last year was like a crazy busy year, and I was not intending on writing another rock record. Working on 3 other records, touring with System, doing a musical, Learning Through Oblivion, doing a book release, and all this other stuff going on. I was like, but I was in January when I was experiencing when we were all experiencing the death of all the bird and fish around the planet. There was something really ominous, biblical almost about it, and it kind of moved me to write the song, the title track. And right after that, I kid you not, these songs just started coming to me, like from the universe. They just started coming to me, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm on tour with System, but I'm here I am writing Uneducated Democracy. I'm on Holiday, and I'm writing this. I'm on in LA doing this stuff, and I'm writing this, and I'm like, okay, they're just coming, like without, and I presented them in a very kind of raw, not very, filtered kind of fashion, just as they are, very truthful, very honest, and so finished by the end of the year.
For you, even though it is an unplanned pregnancy, as you say, there still seems like there's a thread. What ties everything together?
Instrumentation, arrangement, seeing the story told with different angles. Each song is an angle of the story in a way. The story being the last number of years that, of our lives and everything happening around the world, the upheaval politically, economically, ecologically, all the changes that we're experiencing. And so it kind of ties in, and obviously instrumentation, if you kind of treat the songs with the same instruments and similar arrangements, you get a more kind of, tying in vibe.
And how does it lay the groundwork for the next 3 records too? Because I know this is
we're dropping them all now. How does it lay? None of the records are connected as far as I know, but then who knows? Jesus Christ is it's a great title, but it's also a really cool progressive jazz record, mostly instrumental. Orca is my symphony that I've been writing for about 3 years, influenced by all of my work from Elected Dead Symphony as well as Imperfect Harmonies, and I wanted to write a real classical symphony, so that's that. And I'm doing this thing called Factronic, mate, with Jimmy Aaron from Mindless Self-Indulgence. You guys will know him? Yeah. So it's like a British gangster film interactive experience that we're putting together, which is going to be fun. But none of them are really tied to each other as far as I know. I just had all these ideas going and wanted to finish all these records. Yeah.
You know, and looking at Harakiri, though, I feel like in some ways, and you know, we talked about this before, this is you at your most unbridled. Do you really feel like you got to let it all out this time around? Because it feels, you know, I always know that you've been honest with everything you've done, but this feels superbly honest.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with Elected Ed, I started talking about, you know, our last days of civilization. And Imperfect Harmonies, I think, was a new picture that I wanted to build that I've never seen in my life. You know, it was a very special kind of vision, very influenced by early composers, film composers like Ennio Morricone and Philip Glass and whatnot. Here, I just said, fuck it, I'm going to say everything I got on my mind, fuck everyone.
That's a way to do it.
Yeah.
And speaking of saying what's on your mind, too, I mean, Cornucopia was a great way to kick things off. You know, to zero in on one to begin, what's the story behind that song? Where did that one come from? Because it pulls you in instantly.
It's kind of like a love song to the environment in some ways, and kind of the evil person is human beings. Kind of like the thief, the hamburglar, you know? Yeah, it's an interesting story because it goes from personal to environmental. My favorite line from that song is children outcry grandfather sky, because it says two important things in 4 words. That means the pain on this earth is so large that it outweighs rainfall happening around the world. And it talks about both the environment and humanity at the same time.
My favorite line is Whirling Dervish.
Whirling Dervish, yeah.
What is that?
The Whirling Dervishes are Sufi, it's a Sufi dance where these, they're called dervishes, they kind of whirl into oblivion, and it's a kind of way of meditation, I guess, you know, but they're literally just spinning.
Now, do you feel like Figure It Out is sort of a good intro to the uninitiated for this album? Because I know it was the first single, but where did that one come from, and why was that chosen to come out of the gate with?
I always like coming in with something really hard, you know, like something, you know, kind of challenging, you know, and Figure It Out is like a political satire, you know, it's funny, but it's also very political. Instead of talking about the complexities of the global economic system, the inequities going on in the Euro crisis, the Occupy movement, instead we just go, okay, these guys got away with murder, let's just go get them, you know.
Well, and I think, too, the great thing is those revolutionary undertones that come through very quickly like that. And it's not totally on the nose. It's just like, it's like a left hook out of nowhere.
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, there's that humor there, because you don't want to be preachy, over preachy at least, you know, because you lose your kind of ears.
Exactly. Now, Weave On was like the perfect ender to it. And I know you said that was originally from your play, right?
Yeah, that was from Prometheus Bound, the musical that I did with Steven Sater last year. And it fits so perfectly in the album by itself, both thematically, lyrically, as well as musically, with the punk rock kind of upbeat vibe, that it was like the perfect closer.
And I think, too, that the lyrics prove really poignant as an ender as well. Like, did you see them fitting into the landscape of this record just as much as they fit into the musical?
They did, yeah. They fit into both. And, you know, I was working on the musical for the last few years, and we presented it at Boston at the with the American Repertory Theater at the Oberon Theater on Mass Avenue at Harvard. And we ran there for 5 weeks. We're trying to take it to New York to start it up again. But that whole process really influenced a lot of my songwriting as well, and kind of, you know, because it's such an interesting way of creating music. Everything's changing until the last minute. It's so variable, you know, and yeah, it was a phenomenal experience. So Weave On kind of worked thematically really well with all this stuff.
Now, I think as fans, we all love Serj's lyrics, right? What's your favorite lyric on the album? Do you have one, or a favorite line?
You know, I gotta say, it's fuck, let's figure it out. There's a lot of like lyrics that really go deep into thinking philosophical things and make a huge statement, but that statement alone just says, we're screwed the way things are, let's figure it out, let's do it together, you know?
Well, and I think what's cool too is that, you know, you can punch like that, but at the same time, there's always like a positive undertone. There's always an urge for change. You know, even in your heaviest moments, it's like you're calling for something good.
Yeah, because I think, the human experience is very unique on this planet. I think we were designed as caretakers of the planet, and instead we've ended up being takers, and we've lost that connection with our environment. We've lost the connection between ourselves, as beings of light, and we've come to a place where, even though there's a lot of good in people and a lot of what's going on, but we've lost our way intuitively. That's why animals know more than we do when things are about to happen, environmental disasters or anything. We've lost that. Our technology is great, our psychology is great, our science is incredible, but we've lost our intuition. It's time to merge them. We need that. I don't know what your question was, but I said what I felt like.
I wanted to say what you felt like. That was perfect.
Thanks, Rick.
Now, outside of music, too, and, life, what other art forms fed this album, or what else inspired you? I mean, were you watching a lot of movies? Were you reading? I mean, I know that, you have so many different things that you're interested in. What else filtered through into Harakiri?
Specifically, I can't really say, but definitely a lot of, reading, a lot of living, thinking and conversations with different artists and friends, and, seeing political situations in different countries that I travel to, and reading up on geopolitics and environmental change, climate change, everything that I do, films inclusive, other music as well. Like you're influenced by everything, When you leave tonight and you're walking home and you've been here, there's an influence on you. It's touched you in one way or another, either deeply or not. Either way, it's touched you one way or another. So everything that you do as an artist is utilizing that experience.
Well, and it sounds like, too, the way that these songs hit you in that unplanned pregnancy metaphor, I think is a great metaphor, because they did just happen out of nowhere in different places.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what also I was wondering, too, is that this feels like it encompasses every facet of you, whether it be the heavy side, the pensive side, the quirky side. Do you feel like, obviously no record is going to be definitive of Serj Tankian, but do you feel like so far this is the one where people can get to know you the most?
It's really a tough question. Are you defined by your art, or is your art defined by you? It's hard. I'm not sure any one record really defines me, because I change by the time I release the record. I'm already done, But I think in the end that the kind of accumulation of everything I've done together, not just music, not just art, but meeting people and everything else that we do as human beings is going to define us.
And, taking the helm as a producer, too, is that something that you enjoy, getting in there, twisting the knobs and tweaking everything?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a studio next to my house. I work whenever I want. It's the best job in the world, You get to go in and do what you love and make a living doing it. I feel very grateful. Being a producer is just an extension of that. When you know exactly what you want it to sound like, and you've got the skills and the tools to accomplish it, do it.
Was there anything on Harakiri that you got to try that you'd never tried before, sonically or lyrically? Or tell us some of the things that you got to do this time around that you never ventured into.
I've done some electronic stuff before. But the way I built some of the songs is really interesting. Instead of some of the songs, I still started on piano, like the song Harakiri, or acoustic guitar, certain songs, which is the traditional way that I write. But I decided that I'm going to do more of some like electronic building. So you open up like Pro Tools or Logic or whatever program you're using, and you start building, with beat samples and stuff like that, but using my own beats and samples from my previous records. So it's kind of like no one has those, but they can now, because I've got an iTunes app coming out called I Am Serj, and it's a really cool app actually. You can make your own music with it, vocals inclusive and everything. It's really cool. But so I use that technique a lot to kind of build stuff like Uneducated Democracy. That's why it's like all over the effing place, I used the iPad to do like sketch out 3 songs, which was interesting. You got to trick yourself as a composer to write a different way than you ever have. Otherwise, you run into the risk of kind of grabbing toward things that are comfortable in terms of keys and progressions and scales. So if you start with a brand new instrument, someone says, play this bottle. I'm like, okay, well, let me play this bottle. I'll play it like I've never played it before because I haven't played it before. It'll be unique and original.
Speaking of unique and original, tell me about Ching Chime.
Ching Chime! Ching Chime, yeah. I don't know how that song came, but I definitely sketched it out with the iPad, and I got a good friend of mine, Antoine Kazilian, who I think may be here today. Yeah, one of my boys from Visa. He played the oud on that, and that was really cool. He's an amazing oud player, and so he played on that. And the song is kind of very interesting because it goes from kind of like pseudo rapping to like these big choruses to like this Middle Eastern vibe. And you know, I've heard great interpretations of what it may mean because it's like all over the place and some weird stuff. So I never tell people what I have in mind because even that changes over time.
Well, and then the way you look at it too is going to evolve, like you said, as you've evolved.
Yeah. I think when you have a piece of art, you know, on the wall, you know, especially with modern art, people come and go, okay, that's a mouse. No, that's an elephant. No, that's a rhinoceros. No, it's a helicopter. They're all right, you know. There is no wrong, and music should be that way too. I mean, you put out what you think that you're writing, but the universe is beyond us. The muse is beyond us, and that message comes from all of us. And so the way you interpret it is as important as the way I interpret it.
When did you first become familiar with the term harakiri?
It's a good question. I'm not sure, but I think I've known it for a long time. I used to watch a lot of Akira Kurosawa films, all the Seven Samurai and those amazing films. He was a phenomenal director. He made a lot of like samurai films and you know, stories about old Japan, and maybe there, I don't know.
It's a great term.
Thanks. Well, it's a respectful term. Suicide is so light, it feels like, but harakiri feels very kind of deep. You know, there's a respectful aspect to it. And I actually, a good friend of mine, a Japanese journalist, was talking to me, and he said, "Why'd you name it harakiri? Because you know, it's a very respectful term. It's not to be used lightly." And I said, "That's the point I'm making. It's not to be used lightly. You know."
Well, and music's not to be treated lightly either.
Yeah.
It's a much deeper thing.
Well, today a lot of music is treated very lightly.
Well, and I think that when you have the guts to make a deep record like this, it's got to be experienced from start to finish. You know, you have to sit down with it with headphones and really let it speak to you and let it speak through you.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of musicians have become like politicians, kind of pandering to the middle. You know, baby, baby. I have a song called Baby Too. So, but you know what I'm talking about. Kind of really light and everyone can relate to, and that's all good and dandy. I love music for the entertainment's sake. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Dance music's awesome. Make you dance, that's positive, you know. But the music has a narrative factor that's very important and deep in our culture, and you know, otherwise we end up with reality TV, which is cultural harakiri.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah. So, what's next for you right now? I mean, you've got a big week. You've got Kimmel on Wednesday, and you know, you've got an LA show yet to be announced.
Yep.
But tell us more about what's on the immediate horizon right now.
I am rehearsing with the FCC. I was just there earlier, and it's coming along. We're getting all the new songs down. They sound really great, so I'm excited about that. We're going to be playing a bunch of events. Kimmel, we're doing, I'm doing Love Line by myself, but we're also going to play a K-Rock streaming event, and we're going to play Warner Sunset Sessions this week as well here. And then, what else? We've got touring coming up. We're going to play I've got two weeks with System in August. So that's going to be fun. We never did, when we did the reunion dates last year, we never covered the East Coast, so we're giving them a little System. And, hey, we were here last year. You didn't come? That's your fault. I'm just kidding. Kind of. So we're going to do the 2 weeks on the East Coast, and then I'm going to do a bunch of dates. We're doing 2 dates that are not fest dates, which is Slipknot's little festival in the Midwest. So I'm doing that with the FCC, and then we come back to the West Coast, do 9 dates up the West Coast, and then go to Europe and do a bunch of dates there for promoting and getting this new music out there, and then probably more next year as well.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
We're going to open it up right now for questions from you guys. Yeah. Woo. First off, I have a question for everybody. Who has harakiri?
Thank you guys. It's an honor.
If you don't have harakiri, you can get it in the merch store right now before anybody. before its release date of tomorrow, July 10th, and you can get all kinds of cool Serj Tankian merch.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool.
So give Serj a round of applause right now for giving us this wonderful insight into the record.
You guys deserve the applause. Thank you. Thanks for coming out today.
So, who's got the first question?
You're the moderator.
Let's raise your hands. That's it? We'll take the gentleman in the Serj Tankian shirt right there.
Mr. Tankian, I would like to start by saying I am a musician as well, and it is all because of you guys.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Since I was 11 years old, System of a Down has been with my life till this day, including the Serj Tankian. As you can see, my question to you is...
What's your name?
My name is Jerry.
That's the most important thing. Good to meet you, Jerry.
Thank you very much. My question to you is, as a life-born, say I'm stuttering and being a fool, or whatever. As a life form, will you get brought down when you don't know what to do with yourself, because you are human like we are, even though we like to see you as this thing, you know? But how do you go forward? Is it the universe? Is it just knowing? I mean,
I take the dogs on a walk.
You take the dogs on a walk.
Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling low and stuff, you gotta just put everything aside and get out and realize that you're living in your mind and not in your immediate surroundings, you know?
Cool.
Get out, you know,
And
go see friends.
Do you feel connected to the universe, and was that a mission for you to complete? Because that's what I am trying to do, is just be one with everything, because I'm sick of all the cars and sick of all the people, and I just want to go live in the woods, although it's really hard.
Don't go to Colorado right now. You know, I think it's a lifelong quest to seek kind of that interconnection, you know, with everything. Because I think the major difference between people isn't a matter of good or evil in terms of intentions. It's actually whether people realize. You see the difference in people. The people that you like are usually people that feel some type of interconnection to everything, not just humanity, but animals, the planet, everything. But it's a lifelong quest to feel that interconnectedness and to nurture it and to always remember, no matter how busy you are and whatever is going on and people around you and all this shit going on, you gotta just go, okay, this is cool, you know? I'm working with people, I'm doing this, and, you know, keep kind of cool. But if you're ever feeling low, you gotta just get out there, you know, and do things that you like music turns me on, you know, like when I wake up in the morning, I think about creating music, and I'm like, my mind starts racing, and I'm like, I wanna do this, and it gets me so excited toward life. So find that thing that, it's obviously music for you, but it might be other things for other people. Sure.
Give a round of applause. We're gonna take some questions that were sent in via Twitter as well, so we'll take Laura C's first. Laura C asks...
That's too easy. They get to type at a computer somewhere and ask this question? All these people came out here to talk. Let's take their questions first.
All right, we'll take theirs first. We'll get back to Laura C.
Not that I have anything against twitting.
Twitting. Or twatting. All right, who has a question here? Wait for the microphone.
Congratulations on your wedding.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
My question is if you plan on having many little Serges.
That's kind of personal, so I'll keep that to myself for now. But thank you for asking, and thank you for the beautiful wishes.
Who's next? Another victim? We'll take you right there. We'll get you next time.
What's your name?
Brandy.
Hey, Brandy.
I was wondering, since I'm an asthmatic and there's not a lot of people sponsoring asthma and stuff, and I was wondering if you could be like a sponsor for it.
What do you mean?
Or represent it for asthma, because not a lot of people know.
Like, you mean like celebrity knowing about asthma, like representing? Yeah, I know a lot of friends that are asthmatic actually. And you know what's really funny is that people's asthma starts when they come to LA. You know, like you leave here, if you go, I don't know, you go out of state or somewhere where, with less pollution and clean air. I know a lot of friends that they get it when they come to the city. Have you seen a medical? Have you seen a doctor about it? Yeah. I mean, I'd be open to it. I don't know, you know, I know about the condition, but I don't know of any organizations that deal with it or anything. Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, I'd be open to it.
Thank you.
Sure.
We're going to take our friend in the front row right here.
Hello.
Hey.
My name is Yan Sekino.
Hey, nice to meet you, bro.
And you previously said that we should all come together and help the world. But for example, there are countries right now that are revolting against their governments for certain reasons.
Yeah.
Should we all come together and try and help them, or should we just let them do their own thing and, in a sense, figure it out?
Intervention is very tricky. Humanitarian intervention, political intervention. There's no, not even UN guidelines having to do with it. It's usually a nation's choice. And I think that there are certain things that should be mandated and agreed upon internationally as far as intervention, genocide being one, and, you know, maybe massive environmental abuse being another possibly, you know. But it's a tricky game. I think you're referring to Syria right now, probably, yeah. It's a very tricky game. There's two, you know, you want to help people, but there's a lot of things involved. I have heard that there's actually a lot of, not a lot, but there's actually a lot of help going into Syria, and even some not undercover, but what do you call them? Special ops troops that are in there from a number of Western nations. So, you know, what we hear in the press is only one side of the picture. And I'm not, you know, I think the Syrian people deserve their, you know, independence from the Assad regime for sure. It's just when you talk about national intervention, different countries intervening, every country has their own interest and their own goals in mind. And we have to be careful with that and in assessing that. Yeah.
A round of applause. She's got the next question right there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
Good.
Well, I just have to say thank you very much for giving us another CD that I will be spreading the world, spreading across this world.
Thank you.
But one question that I had for you that kind of took me back a little bit was this holographic tour. And I'm down for, like, you know, saving the environment and all of that, but the biggest thing for me is, like, I feel you, and I know the crowd feels you, and we get this big, huge energy with you at these shows, and I'm just worried about losing that.
Well, we've never done one yet, but the idea of a holographic kind of live show came to me years ago when I experienced this technology that kind of it's tricked holography. It's not real holography, and it's a good way of, like, you know, well, we're talking about the Tupac experience, like that kind of stuff at Coachella, and, you know, there's been a number of artists that have used it for production value. Cisco Systems uses it, calling telepresence as a video conferencing system, etc. It's an interesting way of kind of, it was more of a way of alternative way of visiting, not to stop, you know, playing live, but to, you know, there's a place that you can't be or a time that you can't go somewhere and doing something cool like that. And it brought the question of, well, you're not really there, so how can you communicate with people, kind of thing. And then that got me thinking, what is there? You know, is my physical there? A lot of times you'll be thinking about something else and your body's there, but you're not really there, you know? So if your intention is there, you know, then your spirit follows whether your body's there or not. That whole thing made me think of that for what it's worth.
We get you all the time, then.
I hope so. Thank you.
Some more questions. Take the gentleman with the System of a Down shirt in the second row.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm Joey.
Hey, Joey. How are you?
What was the funnest album that you've ever made? Like,
The funnest album I've ever made. They're all fun, you know? I mean, I'm making music. I'm not cutting people into pieces, you know? you know, they're all really fun. I meant as a surgeon, not as a, you know, serial killer. I don't know. They're all fun in different ways. I think, you know, for example, I can compare Harakiri with Imperfect Harmonies. Imperfect Harmonies was very full on. There was like 120, 160 tracks per song. Live orchestra, electronic instruments, resamples, and all this stuff. Harakiri was very just, this is it, like straight up kind of thing. There's still a bunch of tracks, but not as many, obviously. So each of them are different. It was more like how I did Elected Dead, I think. And I don't know, they're all fun. I think Fucktronic was fun, you know. Having actors coming in and playing, singing, or not singing, but talking parts from a kind of script that we wrote, Jimmy and I. So, I mean, they're all fun. The culmination of everything, doing everything is fun. You know, doing one thing's not fun for me as an artist. It gets boring.
There's some more questions. Take right here.
Hi, Serj.
Hey, what's your name?
Isabel.
Isabel, nice to meet you.
Thank you very much for all your music.
Thank you.
Love it.
Cool.
Now, this is a question for a different album, if I may?
Yeah, sure.
Lie, 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 the
Okay.
song. What's
Yeah.
up with it?
What's up with it? Did you see that
love
video
it.
that
I
Martha
love it.
Coburn made?
No, I don't think so.
There's a really cool video you should see. She made it out of like cutout figures. She made like these incredible cutout figures and made this incredible video. All songs have multiple interpretations. It's what it means to you, you know? Ah, well, that changes as well. That changes as well. It's kind of like a very...
I love it. My mom, she told me I was a devil for liking that.
Oh, wow. Why?
That was really disrespectful. And
But no, why? What about it made her say that?
the lyrics and, you know, the whole, your video and stuff. Because you did do the video, right? The one with the...
Martha Coburn is the one that directed that video. It was all cutout figures. But there's no... Oh, you know, yeah, there's one thing that's devilish in it. Oh, come on.
I love all your music. Now, would you be able to do a scream for us?
No. I've been screaming all day in the studio. No. No, why would I threaten you people with my scream? Thank you. I'd rather talk to you. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll take the gentleman in the red shirt right there. Yeah.
Should I walk up there? Or?
No, you get a mic.
Thank you.
What's your name, bro?
My name's Otto.
Nice to meet you.
I just want to say really quick, this is a huge honor. I've waited my whole life to see you. It's just
Thank you, bro.
amazing to be in front of you right now and talking.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I do have a question. It's
Yeah.
not System of a Down related. It's
Okay.
completely about you, and I'm not asking for any hints or anything. But you spent a couple years experimenting and trying new styles of music. And if you know maybe System of a Down made new songs, would some of your experimentation show up in those songs?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. I can't wait.
Thank you.
If it's happening.
Time will tell.
We
Sneaky
will
way of framing a
take-
question. Sneaky little C.
Girl right in the front.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
Oh, hey, Ashley. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hey. The voice is coming from everywhere.
Yeah, I just had a question going back to when you said musicians these days take it very lightly, and we all agreed. But my question about that was, for upcoming bands who still have that depth and still have that magic about the music, what would your advice be to those bands, those up-and-coming bands, or trying to make it?
You know, we've been dealing, like with Surgical Strike Records, we've put out about a dozen indie records over the years, and it's the industry itself has gotten tougher. Less investment from, you know, the majors, and a lot more, you know, a lot tougher. But what is easier is the making of and the production of the music, you know, because of the technology and everyone being able to do it in their own living room. And the ability to get it out with profile pages, Facebook, Twitter, and MySpace, and all this stuff, and kind of SoundCloud, getting the music out there. So I think there's more tools available for artists now to say what they feel. But it's still up to them to build that little first fire, you know? I always say, if you can't build a fire in your house, you can't expect to blaze the world on fire, you know? So you have to start in your community, play a place, and when people are lining out the door to that small club that you start at, you've got something. You know, that's the beginning. You need that. Yeah.
To that point, too, you know, it wasn't easy for System to break through then either. You know, I mean, nobody had ever heard a band like that. Nobody had ever heard a sound like that.
Yeah, no, I remember when we first came on the scene, everyone was like, what the fuck is this? You know, and we didn't know better. I mean, thank God, you know, like we came in from the left in many ways.
Yeah. Who else has a question? And remember, too, afterwards, we'll be able to have a signing to the right. We'll go that way. Because I see everybody's got a Harakiri CD that they want signed, right?
Cool. Be my pleasure.
Let's take the gentleman in the Rammstein shirt.
To us. Those guys are awesome. They're funny.
Yeah, I've seen them a couple times. I really love System of a Down, though, and they inspired me to write a paper about the Armenian genocide when I was in one of my college classes.
Thank you.
Who are your biggest inspirations from music?
So many, you know, from Armenian musicians to, you know, God, I grew up listening to a lot of different types of music, you know, Greek music, Arabic music, Armenian music, French music, and you know, and then like 70s and 80s, like from disco to soul to like, you know, goth in the 80s and you know, new wave, and then got into punk, and from there got into metal, and from metal got into death metal, from there you know, so it's like jazz, classical, noise, experimental, world, you know, it's all the same shit, you know. It's just different arrangement, different instrumentation, different vocalization, but the inspiration could still be the same thing. You can write a song in like 900 different ways. So there's many, many different artists, so instead of spending your time discussing that, it's pretty myriad and versatile.
I think the young lady right there.
All right.
She wanted a picture of you, Rick.
I guess so.
Hi, Serj. I'm Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
Okay. So describe in one word, how would you most like your music to be most remembered?
Message.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We will take the gentleman in the back all the way.
Hi, Serj. I'm Sarkis.
Hey, Sarkis.
My question is, did your recent book, Glaring Through Oblivion, influence this track, the album?
Good question. There's a couple of snags of lyrics that I took from the book, like Butterfly, Spare Me the Night, Trampled Upon by Submission, Amassed Within One's Own Inhibition, where the only prohibition is, and then I added love in the song. So yeah, there's like, you know, when I'm writing lyrics to new music that I write, for inspiration, like if I'm thinking about something, I'll start writing it down immediately. But if I'm kind of just looking for ideas, theories, whatever, I'll go through my poetry because it's mine. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not stealing from myself. So I'll check it out and I'll see if it's something really works perfectly. Then I'll start there, and I usually end up going somewhere else with it. But you know, or not use it at all sometimes, a lot of times. But yeah, it's a good way of kind of getting your mind started on an idea. Yeah, thank you.
Woo. Take the girl right there.
Hi.
Hi.
Big fan.
Oh, thanks. What's your name?
Corinne.
Hey, Corinne.
So you've had so much success with System of a Down and just with your solo projects, and my question for you is, what was a turning point, if there was one at all, where you just kind of decided, hey, this is what I love to do, and I'm just going to do it?
Good question. I'll tell you this story. I'm in my 20s. Want to say about 23, 24. Out of college, working in the jewelry industry at my uncle's place, and traveling a lot, you know, learning the trade and doing well. I decided that's not for me, so I was looking for things that I wanted to do. Meanwhile, I'm playing music, of course, at nights and, you know, all that. And music's my passion, but at the time, I didn't take myself too seriously in terms of my musical passion. So I go, what else can I do? Maybe I'll be a lawyer. So I decided I'll go take the Kaplan classes and sign up for the LSAT and you know, go that route, you know. So I remember it was this really dark, rainy night, and I was driving in my car after a full day of work and after those horrible Kaplan classes. Sorry, whoever's taken them. But, you know, and it was like I had to drift out to the edges of the things that I didn't want to do to finally grab myself and go, you want to fucking do music, man. This is what you want to do, you know? So I literally was driving home one day, and I was so frustrated that I hit the brakes. I slammed on the brakes. I stopped. I'm like, I don't want to be a fucking lawyer. I want to be a musician. Like, I said it loud to myself, and that was... Not that there's anything wrong with being a lawyer. You know, but that was my vision, and it needed kind of that, I don't know, I needed to kind of admit it to myself, and I was 23, and even though I was playing music, I started doing it more professionally, taking it more seriously, and I designed my life so that I could be doing this in every way.
That's awesome. Take the gentleman in the cap and the blue shirt.
Thank you. My name is Giancarlo.
Hey, man. How are you?
As a multi-instrumentalist, what instrument do you enjoy the most playing when recording a CD?
They all offer different things, but I think if I had to pick one, it would be the piano. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll take you in the white shirt right there.
Hi, I'm Christopher Contreras.
Hey, Christopher.
I've been a big fan since I was a little kid.
Thanks, man.
I also wrote a paper sophomore year about the Armenian genocide.
Oh, thanks, man.
And my question, it might be kind of personal, but...
I might not answer it.
I'm just going to ask it anyways.
Okay.
What are your religious views?
My religious views. See, everyone turn around right now. Everyone turn around. Look at that tree behind the camera. Okay? All right, the religious views of that tree is my religious views.
Who else has questions? All the way back there in the red and white shirt.
Excuse me, guys. Thanks. Hey, Serj, I'm Gabe.
Hey, what's up, Gabe?
Nothing. I just want to say thank you for all the music that you've given, man.
Thanks, brother.
Got me through all of high school, and I think everyone could say that, though, a lot of people. So
thanks, man.
I guess I want to say is, what would you consider your favorite book, to this day? A book you can keep picking up, reading over and over and over again.
There's a lot of them. I don't, a lot of people love having favorites. They like posting them on their Facebook, and these are my top 5 movies, top 5 books, top 5 ice cream flavors, and I've never been one of those guys. I like trying different things. I have many things that I enjoy, but there's not one book that I can prescribe to, because what am I going to tell you? Do I like Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu's better than a Noam Chomsky book? How do I compare the two, So it's yeah. Thank you.
But what is your favorite ice cream, more importantly?
I don't have one, man. I really don't.
Who else
I'm
has
sorry.
questions? We'll take girl right there.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Pandy. I'm from New Zealand, and I understand you have a connection with New Zealand.
Yes.
You're a New Zealand resident. So I was
Yep.
wondering how that all came about and why New Zealand. I mean, I know it's the most beautiful country in the world, but why New Zealand?
Good on you. So the first time that we went to New Zealand was with the System on the Big Day Out tour, 99 or 2000, and I had this incredible kind of intuitive sense of belonging is the way that I describe it, and no other way of describing it. I've never felt so comfortable anywhere in my life, and so I researched it. I researched it both in terms of going around the country and looking, traveling around the country, as well as reading up more about New Zealand, and I fell in love with the place is the only way I can say it. So I became a resident, got a place there, and it's one of the places that I spend part of my year. Yeah. What do you think of LA? Give her a mic. I'm more interested in that.
I hated it at first, but now I love it. It's my second home, but New Zealand
Oh,
will
okay.
always be home too.
Ah, good on you.
It's-
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. I still hate it. No, come on. Well, maybe a little. Yeah.
We will take the young man in the back with the white System of a Down shirt.
Oh, Mike, coming your way, bro.
Hi, Serge.
Hey.
I'm Dakota. I just wanted to ask. I know you're in the studio with the FCC and going on tour with System in the
Mhm.
East and Future in Europe and everything, and you got your new albums coming out like the Orca and I was just wondering, are we going to be able to hear some new System in the future soon?
I wish I could answer that question, but I really don't know, you know, because it's not something that we've talked about or discussed and doing. I think when we decided to get together, it was more, you know, like just the joy of playing together. We had, you know, missed playing together. And so we've been doing that and enjoying it, as well as doing a lot of other things that we're doing with our lives. So we're at that point right now, but the time will come, and whenever it's right, everyone will know.
We'll go all the way back again to the gentleman in the black jacket.
Hey, Serge. I'm
Hey.
Nathan.
Hey, Nathan. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Thanks, bro.
You already answered that already. Okay. So I've been, writing songs, getting really comfortable with melody.
Cool.
But lyrics are a little bit elusive to me. I mean, like,
Mhm.
I've been getting a little bit more oriented. And, but like, if you start with lyrics, I'm sort of, at a loss.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to fitting a melody into an already made, like, poem or something, I don't know what to do.
Right.
Do you have
write poetry separately?
Yeah.
Okay. There's no fine way of explaining that, I think. It's just kind of, let's say you have poetry and you've got ideas in there that you like. You obviously, for the music, it has to match rhythmically, the stanzas, the time, whatever you want to repeat. The only way of saying it is take the stuff out of the poem that, if the poem even matches the music, because sometimes it doesn't. You can't force that, but if it does match in terms of the ideas and some of the rhythm, take something from it that works and then develop that, start from there, and take that as the beginning launching pad of your idea and then go from there.
We'll take the gentleman in the red shirt right up front.
I was just curious. I listened to you play.
What's your name?
Oh, Tyler.
Hey,
Sorry.
Tyler.
I listened to you and your dad play, and I thought it was really, really good.
Thanks, brother.
I was just curious if he had any influence on your music, or if after you sang with him or wrote with him, that it.
Thanks for asking, dude. Yeah, ever since I was a kid, my dad would always sing in the house, and mostly Armenian music and whatnot, and that kind of filled my ears. And so the song that I did with him, Bari Harakiri, is actually the first, like one of the first songs that like he would sing it when I was a kid, and I'd sing it with him. So it was kind of like a payback, to do that with him, and it was a big joy to make my dad's record for me. It was very, very fulfilling, and so yeah. He has influenced me, Yeah.
Let's take all the way in the back, the gentleman with the glasses.
What's up, Serge?
Hey, man.
I'm Hike.
Hey, Hike.
I just want to ask, is your vocal change, like, throughout the years, like, did you make a conscious effort to change your voice, or was it, like, more evolutionary, like, with the growls and lack of growls now?
Evolutionary. No matter what you do in life, your voice changes. But yeah, I mean, the more you do you exert your voice and use it for something, it always changes, and it will keep on changing. So, yeah. But in terms of as a preference for songwriting, when I was in my 20s, there was like, there was more angst because that was my 20s, and you're screaming about stuff, and then later you're screaming in a different way. You can make the same impact with a small word said this little, like just, you can. It's the intention behind the voice, not so much the projection of the voice. But I project my voice in different ways now. Yeah.
I'll take you in the blue tank top.
What up, Serj? I'm
Hey,
Gerardo.
man. Hey, Gerardo. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Good.
No question, but I just want to thank you for the music that you brought to us because
Thanks, brother.
you're fucking great.
Thanks, man.
It's the best way to
Thank you.
describe it.
Thanks for coming out.
You take the young lady in the back right there.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Alina. And
Hey, Alina.
I was just wondering, what are you currently listening on your iPod?
I've got 120 or 80 gigs, whatever it is, full. Like, I tried to put stuff on it the other day, and it wouldn't. And it said it's full. So, but I've stopped listening to my iPod because I'm using this Spotify subscription service, so I can get any song that I want anytime and without the, having a drive in there and stuff. But there's a lot of stuff, A to Z. What am I listening to? I haven't listened to my iPod, so what am I listening to on Spotify? Let me check. This will take a second.
If you haven't, when can you buy Harakiri? You gonna tell all your friends about it?
You're going to hate this. A friend of mine sent me a note saying, please listen to Paul Simon's Graceland.
Something wrong with that.
Not sure if you're going to like that, but that's the last thing I turned on. Yeah, anyway, being honest.
All the way in the back.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Jimmy.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up? My question to you is, I have a lot of friends who are really close-minded about the music I listen to, and I listen to a lot of like core music, I guess, and which is pretty much hated, like metalcore, post-hardcore, deathcore, because they all play like the same pattern. And what I'm trying to tell my friends is, it's not just all about that. It's like, it's music in its own way. My question to you is, what is your opinion on closed-minded people?
My question to you is, why do you care?
That a round of applause.
Right? I mean, music is like food, Like some people, you bring a pizza, some people like the crust, some people like the cheese, some people like the tomatoes, Everyone's different. No one's going to like the same thing, and you can't really influence people. You play it for them, and if they respect you, they might listen to it, but they may or may not like it, C'est la vie.
The young lady right there. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
Although you're a musician, you seem really grounded, even in front of a huge crowd. How
Thanks.
do you make sure the fame doesn't get to your head and, make sure you're not a jerk to all your fans?
Because I don't believe in that part of the bullshit business. I like making music, and people like the music, great. People don't like the music, great too, But that's what I do, Plumber's plumb, I make music.
Who's the next victim? We'll take you right there.
You might want to get to your tweets.
You want to do the tweets? Okay.
After.
Hey, Serj.
Hey, man.
My name is Brandon.
Hey, Brandon.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, bro.
I just like to say thanks for, like he said, you're fucking great.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also wanted to ask you from your system, from your career with System
Yes.
and solo career.
What's
which
my favorite
albums-
song? Oh,
no.
okay.
That's hard enough for me to
Yeah,
answer. Which albums meant the most to you?
Steal This Album. I don't know why. I mean, you may not feel the same. A lot of people like Toxicity. It's the most sold System record or whatever. It's the most owned System record. But for me, there was something really diverse and interesting about Steal This Album. I can't put my finger on it. Yeah.
So shall we delve into the Twitterverse?
Let's do
for
it.
a moment.
Let's please please the internet.
From Laura C. Are you going to write another poetry book? She really loved your previous books.
Oh, thank you, Lori C. I don't know, because I wasn't intending on writing the second one, Glaring Through Oblivion. It just, the timing was right, and I wanted to do like a coffee table book with my friend Roger Kupelian, whose images are incredible in that book, and I'm, more of a fan of that than my actual poetry in the book. So, maybe one day, I don't know.
Let's see what else we have here. This is a long one, but it seems interesting.
Okay.
This is from Thanasis.
Okay.
Back in the toxicity days, did you ever damage your voice from all of that yelling? If so, is this why your style has changed over the years from aggressive to more mellow? Thanasis personally thinks that your voice today is just plain perfect.
Then why is he asking me if I'm not yelling? Or she. What is the name?
Thanasis.
Thanasis.
I think
Wow,
it's
is
a
that
Greek god.
Yeah. Cool. Wow.
You have a question from Olympus.
I think this
not
is
just
more like
Twitter.
that other question about question from Olympus. Zeus. I think this is like the other question where your voice progresses, that kind of thing. I think
Yeah.
we've done that already.
Yeah, I think that we have too. It was so long, I was fascinated by it.
You're just fascinated by Thanasis.
By the name, yeah. So, and I think to leave off, because just to give everybody one last word on Harakiri, Thayer asks, how is this album different from your last two?
I think it's much more punk rock. It's much more straightforward. It's much more unfiltered, truthful, kind of more urgent in terms of the lyrical content and messaging. And, you know, that's how I see it as the difference.
And it's awesome.
Thank you.
If you don't have Harakiri, you can get it now in the store, as well as some awesome Serj Tankian merch. And for your friends that need to get it, they can get it on iTunes and everywhere else. When? When is Serj on Kimmel?
Wow.
This is a smart crowd.
This is kind of like CIA brain tactic
is.
stuff. Like, what are you doing?
I said it was an interrogation. Now, we're going to form a line over to the right going that way.
We're going to do the
And
signing.
Serj will be doing a signing. Thank you all. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was awesome.
Thank you, guys.
So much, Serj.
Yes.
I know you want it. Please. Cool. Thank you. So do we go? Which way do we go?